Hello and welcome to DCP Live episode number 264. 264. How about that, guys?
How about that? It's all even numbers.
Yeah.
It's a lot of episodes.
It's an even episode. It is. It's a lot of episodes. A lot of years.
It's a lot of weeks.
A lot of weeks there. I hear you guys are under the haze of Lost Ark.
I have played for maybe 2.5 hours, and already I'm like, well, okay, guess that's my life now.
Give me more.
Yeah.
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 I've done
IV.
20 minutes and I'm like, this look good. This look real good, please.
Tie an elastic band around your arm and just inject it now.
Man, if you make a game that's like got loot and it's an MMO and combat feels amazing, you're in for trouble with the players. They're gonna be addicted real.
Yeah.
Game's
The thing
massive.
is, it's been around for a while now in
It has, yeah.
Korea and Russia. So it's like
Yeah, it's technically not a new game, right?
It's actually finished and polished.
Right.
Yeah.
Which also means why are
That'd be
they
a
waiting
refreshing
until
change.
March to release a finished game? Huh?
So I
Yeah.
think I think they're changing a lot of how things work for Western audiences, because in Korea, like having a game that's just an MMO that's pay to win all over the place and microtransactions all over the place is pretty normal. So I think they're
Okay. Yeah.
changing a bunch of stuff for Western audiences.
So
That makes sense.
Good.
did it get it's bought from Amazon Studios is sort of releasing it for the Western audience, right? Is that how it works?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's correct.
You reckon they'll be upset when they realize it's more popular than New World?
Yeah, interesting. Interesting time for new MMOs, right?
True, yeah.
Yeah.
Very true.
Well, there was also Elden Ring gameplay.
Oh my god.
God, not that we're talking about that on this podcast.
Not
No,
that
we would
not,
never, but it does look really good.
it does
really
look
good, right?
real good.
Oh my God.
It's not Destiny, but it is my Destiny. So
Yeah, exactly. It's not Destiny, but I will definitely be playing it in the future because it's my Destiny. Yeah. Yeah, it looks
Can't wait
really
to talk
good.
about it on Monday. I'm gonna scream and go crazy on Monday.
Yeah,
It's
it's pretty great.
Yeah.
So I've been waiting, Mylon, all week. You know? Also, I've been dropping fair dinkums randomly at various places.
Oh, please say you haven't.
I went to
been
the
I just have
grocery
been.
store. Yeah, I went to the grocery store and I was like, fair dinkum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like, that'll be $29.95. Ah, fair dinkum.
See that actually that could work, but
Does that
you guys
apply?
were using. I was concerned because the way you were using fair dinkum during trials was incorrect most of the time. 100% of the time, 60% of the time, you're using fair dinkum incorrect. Well, so I've got some slang for you. And
Okay.
I've posed some of them as questions to make it a bit more interactive with yourself
Oh, okay.
and even the play along audience at home.
All right,
Yeah.
play
So-
along, get a notepad or something. Maybe.
Question, Australian slang question number 1. If I was wearing budgie smugglers, what would I be wearing?
Budgie smugglers.
Budgie
Budgie
smugglers.
So Budgie
I think
is
it's
a
tiny
bird.
whiteys.
Budgie is a bird.
Very close. Briar is very close.
Bikini
Oh.
briefs?
A banana
A
hammock.
thong.
Like Speedos.
Speedos.
I don't know what you
Speedos,
call it,
okay.
like Speedos.
Speedos.
Yeah.
That's
So
what
you're
you call
calling
them.
your
Speedos.
penis a bird. Bit weird.
Yeah.
but-
Budgie.
Budgie is
we
a bird?
had
Actually, it is a bird?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a small bird.
So the small
a
bird
budgie
smuggler.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah,
like
it's
the,
adding up.
the ram, you know, like budgie smugglers. Right. Language warning.
Well,
If someone says not here to fuck spiders, what do they mean?
Time to fight.
they're here for the
Not a
orgy.
business. Here for the business.
They-
Not a
Here for the orgy. Yeah.
They're here for the
beating
orgy.
around the bush.
We're not here to
says here
fuck
for the
spiders.
orgy.
You know what I'm saying? Drop your pants. That's what it means.
Drop those
You know,
budgie smugglers.
Put the keys in the bowl.
Fair dinkum, mate.
Oh, please never come to Australia, guys. You won't get past border patrol. Right. Watts was pretty close. It's like, yeah, we're not here to waste time. You know, you pump. You know, you're there to get down to business. So it sort of would apply in an orgy. If you did say that, it
Yeah.
would sort of be applicable.
If people are standing around wearing clothes, you say, you know.
Yeah. So normally,
I'm not here to fuck spiders.
Yeah. Like, you know, if you had a really busy day at work and you pulled up, you're like, all right, lads, or all right, ladies and lasses, we're not here to fuck spiders. Let's get down to business, sort of deal. You know.
Right. Is this because there's possibly times when you might spot someone banging a
I
spider?
have no idea. I have
Being
no
like,
idea where that came from.
That bloke's banging a spider.
I don't know.
So we can use this as call outs in gaming.
Yeah.
100%. It works.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
load in, you
Somebody's
load in
AFK,
trials.
is he a spider fucker?
Yeah. So if you'd like to say it around children, you can, it can be, we're not here to fornicate with arachnids or something like that.
Classy.
Yes. This is a PC way of putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to call them arachnids. 'cause
Also,
now
that
we're
might be
smart.
the thumbnail.
Not here to fornicate with arachnids. That's good. That's good. Yes. That means we get down to
good thumbnail.
business.
That's
Yeah.
true. We are getting down to the Destiny news everyone's waiting for
Right.
right now.
Oh my gosh.
Question 3.
Yes.
If you were flat out like a lizard drinking, what would you be?
Ooh, flat out like a lizard drinking.
Like just piss drunk?
Am I just tired?
Flat out like a lizard.
Driving
drink.
Are
real
we-
fast.
You're super dehydrated.
Ooh.
No.
No.
Flat
okay.
out.
You are very busy.
Mm.
Very
So if
busy.
someone says, how's your day? You're like
Mm.
flat out like a lizard drinking.
That
It
means
means you
you're
had a
busy?
very
I'm
busy
gonna
day.
I'm gonna reply to all my business emails with that.
Yeah, flat out like
Flat
a
out
lizard
like a lizard
drinking.
drinking.
How you
Oi.
doing? Flat out like a lizard drinking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not
yeah,
fucking
no.
a spider.
Yeah. Do you guys want? I've actually got a few more, but this is taking
Oh, yeah.
longer than
We
I
want
thought it
more.
would.
No,
I
we
want more.
more.
I want more.
Oh, we want
Yes.
this to go for at
I've-
least another 30
I'm
minutes.
so getting the education is just filtering through me right now. It's great.
Right. If someone said that's going straight to the pool room,
Pill or
Pool.
pool?
Pool
Pool
room.
pool room,
Hmm.
straight to the pool room, what would that mean?
It like if someone gives you a gift and it's a bad gift and you're sending it straight to the pool room, you're not putting it on display. It's getting put in the back. It sucks.
Yes.
Yeah, it's actually the opposite.
Oh,
The,
pool room's a good thing.
It's being
Wait,
featured
in what context
above
is
some
pool
sort of
here? Is
mount.
it like billiards or is it like
yes,
swimming?
billiards. It's a billiards room.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
so
I was
it's like
thinking,
billiards room.
I was
Okay.
thinking
like-
aquatics. Yeah,
Yeah, no, it's the pool room. It's like the good room with the pool table.
yeah. Of
the
course, you're
billiards
smoking
table,
cigars. It's low
Yeah,
lighting. You
and
want
I
to
see.
feature your.
and you've got
yeah.
the trophy shelf, right? You got the
Yeah,
trophy
yeah,
yeah.
shelf with like all
Every
the,
billiard
all the,
room has a trophy shelf.
Got a couple drop
Yeah.
bears up there. Yep, got it.
No, drop.
Yeah. So like if someone gives you something nice, you would say that's going straight to the pool room. To me, like that's a
Okay.
good gift. It's going top shelf pool room where
This is
everybody
gonna
can
come
shop.
in-
Pool room.
This is going to become in handy during the Christmas episode.
So everyone
man.
has a billiard
Let's
hall
hope not.
in Australia.
It is not everyone, but so this came from a very famous Australian movie called The Castle. It's a
Oh,
saying. It's
nice.
a saying from that, and so it got popularized from that movie. Straight to the pool room.
Nice.
Oh.
The only
Okay.
two Australian movies I'm very familiar with are Mad Max, obviously,
Yeah.
and Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. So I'm really kind of confused about the culture of Australia, as you can imagine.
You never saw
You
Crocodile
gotta get-
Dundee?
Yeah, you got to get Crocodile Dundee in
Yeah,
there
come
too.
on.
Oh yeah, but that took place in New York.
Wasn't there 3 of them?
Oh, yeah, there was probably a fair few. Last one, and then you guys have a test, and you can play
Oh.
along at home too.
Oh,
Okay.
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 Last one, then it's test. If someone said you got Buckleys, what would that mean?
Buckley's.
Buckleys.
You got
Velcro
they're not-
sneakers.
you got crabs.
Oh,
No.
bummer.
I'll give you more context. You got
Yeah.
Buckley's chance.
Oh.
Buckley's
You
chance.
don't have a chance?
Yeah.
Buckley's chance. Yeah.
Buckley's chance. You got Buckley's.
Your
Which
SOL.
means you got like no chance. So if we went into
No
trials,
chance.
if we went into trials and like saw the team we were versing, I'm like, oh, we got Buckley's. So it was a convict that ran away, went into the Australian bush, and they think that's
William
where it came
Buckley.
from. Yeah, I feel like that's your
Sure.
Buckley's chance of surviving.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Bill
But wait,
Buckley.
William Buckley survived, right? He like lived with
He did survive.
Aborigines for like 20 years.
Yeah,
So there's
they
a
thought he was
chance.
dead.
What you're saying is
They
there's a
thought he had
chance.
no chance. Yeah.
Oh, so now we have permission to use it incorrectly because he did have a chance.
Yeah.
It's like a 1% chance. Yeah.
Okay, so this is your exam. This is your Australian exam. I'm gonna say a sentence in Australian, and you're gonna need to. And you're gonna need to translate it to freedom speech. Okay.
Okay.
And I'll give you more clues as we go on, but I've taken a lot of the hints out. Okay. I'm gonna go put my thongs on, go down to the bottle-o, before going to the servo to get a pack of Winnie Blues and a Mrs. Max.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thongs are sandals, so
Yes.
that's first.
Flip-flops
we know
Flip-flops,
specifically, right?
flip-flops. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Those are
Yeah.
the-
Correct. You get one tick.
What was
I'm
the
gonna
next
put my
part?
flip-flops
Yeah,
was the next
I've already
word?
forgot the sentence.
Okay. I'm gonna put my flip flops on and go down
Yeah.
to the bottle-o.
The pub.
Bottle
The
up.
pub.
The local store.
Not the local store, not the pub. Pub is
The
close.
corner store. Oh, the liquor store. Yeah,
Liquor store.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Liquor
okay.
store,
Liquor
okay.
store. Okay.
What was that
yeah.
word again?
Bottle-o.
Bugalo?
Oh,
Bottle-o?
bottle.
Yeah, like a bottle of rum.
Oh.
Bottle-o.
Oh, bottle of?
Okay.
No, just bottle. Bottle-o.
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 Like
Bottle.
bottle.
Oh.
Okay, bottle-o.
Bottle. Oh.
Bottle.
Okay,
Chat's like, Pam is a Pam Pan kind of situation. Bottle-o. So I'm gonna go put my flip flops on, head down to the bottle-o. Sorry, head down to the what do you call it? Liquor store.
Liquor
Yeah,
store.
Liquor store. Yeah.
Put my flip flops on, head down to the liquor store before going to the servo.
Servo.
Mm.
A volleyball tournament.
Ooh, I like it. Because you
Hold on.
serve there.
Servo. You got the bottle and
Yeah,
you servo. You know.
Okay,
just
no,
add an O
you
to
got your
stuff.
tongs on, you got your flip flops on, and you just came from a liquor store. Where would you go in that situation?
Yeah, where would you go? You would
You
go
go to the
a
beach.
party.
You go to the party.
Okay.
You go to
The
the
beach, a barbecue.
barbecue.
I like your thinking, but I've just sort of smashed all Australian sayings into one, so it doesn't really.
I
make
can't
sense.
logic this one out.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's not related. Okay.
You're going.
Servo.
You're going
No,
to
it
court.
would be. It
You
could
to get
be.
served. You get served at the servo.
No. So servo is like petrol station, gas station.
I
was gonna say gas.
Is that a name brand?
Servo.
Or is that
No,
like
like a
slang?
service station. A service
Servo.
station.
See, in
Oh,
America,
service station.
in America, if
Okay.
you're at a liquor store, your chances are you're already at a gas station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good
Chances
point.
are.
Yeah,
There's
so
a high-
no,
high
we don't
chance.
have liquor stores are separate. You can't buy alcohol at the servo.
Interesting.
It depends on the state you're in, but
Mm.
often you can buy beer and gas in the same location conveniently.
Yep.
Yeah. So you got your flip flops on.
Yep.
You went to the liquor store to pick up a bottle of alcohol, whatever.
Mhm.
Foster's
Now
beer.
you've gone. You headed off to the service station, the petrol station, the
You got
gas
to get
station,
gas. Right.
to pick up a pack of Winnie Blues.
Smokes.
No, that's got to be
And a Mrs.
cigarettes.
Yeah, Winnie Blues are cigarettes. Perfect.
Winnie
Yeah.
Blues.
Winfield. Do you have Winfield Blues?
I don't know the
No.
varieties of smokes.
It's a very like
It's very Aussie.
I don't know.
There's
like
literally a
very
kangaroo
bogan.
on it.
A very bogan person, Australian person, like, just go ahead to
That's
the server and get
another-
a pack of Winnie Blues.
It sounds like American Spirit around here.
yeah. And the last one, you can pick up your pack of ciggies and a Mrs. Max. What's it, Mrs. Max?
This is
This
mad.
is Max.
Mrs.
A porn magazine.
A
No.
cleaning solution.
I'm gonna
Ask
go
him
with
about
I'm gonna go with some sort of convenience store packaged like eat like a dish like you know those
Yes,
pies
you-
you know those pies that like cherry pies in a thing you know like a wrapper
Ooh.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about
you're
like
on-
they yeah
Yeah, it's a meat pie in the
That went
hot
wrong.
you know like the hot section, you know, like the little
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
yeah but it's like
Hot
a
meat pie.
like a crusted breaded type of thing yeah okay yeah
Do you also
So
need
now
to,
when I
do
say-
people know what bogan means?
Yeah, we've had this conversation. about
Okay.
bogans, haven't we?
I was a bit confused.
yeah, it's like
A chav.
A chafe?
No,
I
hell
thought we
yeah.
agreed it was kind of like a redneck.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a bit like a redneck, but yeah. Well, see, I don't really know exactly what you mean by redneck either. Like, is that always racist, or is that like
No,
more
I
of a
don't think so.
stereotype?
I think a lot of people think it's always racist, but I think you can be a redneck and not be racist. I think that's
Yeah,
Right.
of course.
Yeah,
That's
it's
fair.
Logan-
Definitely, yeah.
Logans are similar. Like that, they'll be running around in their flip flops, getting packs of ciggies from the servo, but they can also be extremely kind and nice. They also like their V8
Yeah.
supercars and like doing burnouts and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, technically, like typically, redneck usually means lower class, but not necessarily in like a,
It's like
you're
a country kind of
country
lower
bumpkin,
class.
like
Logans are similar.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Country
So
bumpkin.
now when I
needed.
say, I'm going to put my thongs on, go down the bottle-o, then head over to the service
like
station
Joe Dirt.
servo,
I think that's perfect.
to get a pack of Winnie Blues and Miss Smacks. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta be honest, there is so much. I had no idea how different things could be in Australian like dialect. Like just
Yeah, you don't realize it, but even with Tomo, like I'll say something that's just a British thing that people say, and he's like, "Huh?" And it still happens, even like 6 years later. I'm still say things, and I'm like, "You don't call it that. What is going on? What do you call it?" So yeah, you don't realize how different things are, but there's a lot of words that are just not used or sayings that are not used.
yeah.
So I
it's
hope I
amazing.
haven't gone too hard, too fast, and like used all the good ones. We'll never have
Too hard, too fast. Is that another slang?
Yeah. hmm That's universal.
What does
one,
that
though.
mean
That's
in
universal.
Australia? Rolled up
That's
to
a
the.
universal one.
I can't even remember the names.
Servo, bottle-o. Just put O on the end of anything. You get pretty close.
Rolled up to the servo
Okay.
and was going harder. Anyways, I can't. My brain is broken.
There you go. Well, welcome.
that was
Hey,
now
Thank
we
you
Thank
very
you.
much for that, Mylon. That was very informative.
Yeah.
You
I
passed with flying
feel-
colors.
That TED Talk was educational.
Mhm.
Very
I
educational.
feel like I can now use these words appropriately.
I wish
Oh,
I
and
could
big
use those
thanks
words.
Big thanks to Twitter. Twitter gave a lot of ideas for Australian slang. So
Oh, that's good.
look out for next week if you want more Australian slang. I'll have to do another call out for Twitter.
Yeah, my Twitter. Every time I post anything about Australia's favorite beer, and people
Your
get so
tweets.
upset. Like, what is it about Foster's that gets Australians so upset? Do they not like sharing their nectar with the rest of the world?
Yeah.
Is it that's making them
Americans drink
No.
Budweiser. What's
We
going on,
We don't
man?
appreciate you because we know what you're doing, and we know that and we don't appreciate you fucking around with our beer. You never mess around with an Australian beer, and we don't drink Foster's, and everyone knows that. And that's why they're getting angry at you, Brian. You know exactly what you're doing.
You always assign malice to everything I do. I'm just trying to blend in with the culture of my new co-host.
Yeah, it was funny when you had a deep fried prawn or shrimp with a Foster's
Shrimp on the Barbie.
Yeah.
shrimp on the Barbie.
I'm expecting Briar in a budgie smuggler picture next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And some thongs.
Thongs
Yep,
going down to the
yep.
servo.
Yeah.
Yep.
The thing is, during summer, you could see that. You could see a dude walk
That's-
into a survey
is that a
wearing
bogan?
thongs and a budgies.
Yeah.
No, budgies. I don't know.
Too
if
high
it's
class to be
the
You
wearing
can
a
absolutely
Speedo?
see that in Florida too, and it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
unusual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have because we have a lot of beaches. I don't know. Do you have surf? You have surf lifesaving in?
Surf life saving?
Yeah,
America?
yeah, like lifeguards.
Yeah, but they're very like volunteered orientated in Australia. So a lot of
Called
people
surf life saving?
surf lifesaving. Yeah,
Oh wow.
they're like
Huh.
they're like lifeguards, but
Yeah,
they're mostly
lifeguards.
volunteers. People that just love the beach and stuff like that, and they volunteer every like Saturday and Sunday because there's that many people going to the beach that they help out. And
Mhm.
We have
yeah, you've probably
professionals
seen-
as portrayed in the hit TV show Baywatch.
Yeah, Hasselhoff.
yeah,
Yes, we have
Yeah.
Baywatch.
yeah. So there'll be some paid one people, but the rest are like volunteers as well. But you'll see them walking around budgie smugglers for sure. Maybe going into the server.
That's why they volunteer.
Yeah.
They gotta
Oh,
show
come
it
on,
off,
dude.
right? That's a falcon down there.
Yeah, no budgies to be seen.
Oh man. Well, we should definitely talk about Destiny since the show's about
Okay.
Destiny.
So people are super excited about the newest changes to Trials of Osiris as usual. So
Yeah,
how
we
was
gotta talk about our
Oh yeah,
experience.
let's talk
We
about our trials
played.
experience.
We
So,
went
I
flawless.
was watching. We did go flawless. I was watching people stream before we got together, and it was looking pretty grim out there. So I was like, normally I would play a little bit before we play, just to like grind 7 wins, get some sentence shards. But I decided to not play any trials until we got together,
It was
and we went flawless.
We
and
did.
we hit
That's good.
around when it got to 8 wins, things were getting a bit trickier. 10 wins, we got to the point where we're like, this isn't worth it anymore.
Yeah, we hit
Yeah,
a
it was
wall
a
at
steep
10
cliff, right? And this was Friday
10.
night. Yeah.
Friday night, 10 wins.
How
Too
many
much.
5-0s did we get in that first card?
It was a lot.
Yeah, I felt like half of them at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
So
a
we
lot.
went flawless the first card. 5-0, like it went from
I
super
have the
easy
statistics.
to super hard very quick.
Did you guys
Yeah.
like the matchmaking that's already been taken out of the game?
No, I did not.
Oh,
No.
The
God, no.
previous
It
one
was-
God,
was
So the biggest issue was that if you happen to get unlucky and like have to reset your card twice, let's say you went 5 wins, had to reset, and then another 5 wins, had to reset, you were already in a category that was going to be like nearly impossible. Unless, see, the only thing is I didn't try it on a Saturday or a Sunday to see how the wins might have pushed, but there might have been a balancing of other people jumping on at the same time with some of the skill levels, you know? So for us on a Friday night, by the time we hit 10 wins, it was like, dude, we might as well stop playing because it wasn't going anywhere for us.
And 10 wins, even for a Friday night, with it being like 8 p.m. our time, that's not a lot of wins before you get to it. That's one card reset, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You get your win, you have to reset. That's like one reset, and then you're kind of tapped out. And theoretically, it should work like that. Whereas you go further on, more and more people get more wins. But I think there's gonna reach a point like we did, where we hit that wall, and we're like, we don't want to play anymore. And I'm sure people are
Just wasn't
also
worth
gonna
it.
hit that wall and not gonna play anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
it-
I
The
felt like
stats
I
that they
would've-
posted in the TWAB definitely barrier.
Yeah.
Carry your
yes,
statement
they
out.
do.
Yeah, but by the way, I want to point out that we're not like complaining about playing against more difficult people. It's that
Right.
the matchmaking had shifted in a way where we are only playing more difficult people at this point.
Right.
You know, like the variety had gone out the window. And in the beginning, we were definitely playing 2 easy games. You know, so
Yeah, I
that's
reckon. It was very polarized. It was like
Yeah.
way too easy, and then it was far above our skill level.
yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
it consistently above our skill level. Like
Yeah,
we played a few matches after, and it was like, okay, well, that's why we felt like quitting because it was a dead stop. And I think
Yeah.
like a lot of people would get to that point where they're like, why would they keep on going against harder and harder teams as they progress in wins, basically making it impossible to go flawless at that point.
Right.
You know, versus
there
the
was
way
there was a bit of pressure to get you flawless on the first card before you accumulated too many wins, basically.
yeah.
Yeah, it was also the
Um,
case of like, you wouldn't really be able to sit on a 7-win card and farm for materials because at a certain point you're gonna get to that hard wall and you're not gonna be able to do it anymore.
Mhm.
So it really was just very counterproductive to the initial relaunch of Trials, where it was like everyone can go into Trials, whether you're solo, duo, or trio. You can farm it for loot, whether you're winning or losing. You can just keep going and you can get the loot that you want. And it's like, well, now you can't actually farm it because you reach a certain amount of wins, and depending on your skill level, those wins are just going to go down and down and down. If you're like a casual player, it's going to be
Yeah.
4 wins, and then you're like, well, can't compete.
Mm. So yeah, I didn't feel like I wanted. So this is the first time I went flawless in a fair few weeks,
Mhm.
but I didn't feel like playing. Whereas previous weeks, I didn't go flawless, but I actually enjoyed playing more.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it created the same problem as before, where people were waiting until Sunday or Monday because then everyone would have their wins out of the way and it would be easy for them. So that's the same problem. And then you had the same issue of people asking for you to have no wins to come play with them, and if you had wins, they didn't want to play with you. So it's the same thing, just a different way of doing
Yeah,
it.
it was a flawless pool dressed in a different mechanic, just in based on
And
wins
more
as opposed to
brutal.
whether or not you got 7. Yeah, it was definitely more brutal than the flawless
Yeah.
pool. Flawless pool would have been, yeah, it was by far more brutal.
Yeah, because without the flawless pool, I could not go flawless, just have a 7-win card with a loss on it, which, I normally accumulate a loss just playing solo anyway. And I just keep playing. It's great.
Yeah.
Farm it, feels good. That was not an option this week.
Yeah, so the people who I felt like lower skilled people would drop out faster, but actually I think they
Yeah.
said that in the stats that maybe that wasn't quite the case.
We can read the
I think I
stats
heard the
quickly.
highest skilled people dropped out.
Yeah, they
more
played
than
like
last
2
week.
hours less, right?
Less.
Yeah, so it's a pretty short thing. So they talked about the experiment, and they said that average matchmaking time was up about 10 seconds, but if you were on the bleeding edge of win counts, your matchmaking times could easily be anywhere from 2 minutes to over 5.
Woo, that's a long time to
Over
wait.
5 minutes just sitting there. Like,
Wow. Wait.
overall games played were down about 33%. People played 33% less games.
Across the board.
And across the board, yeah.
Okay.
And then the blowout rate went up slightly to 28%. So the blowout rate didn't even go down with the wins. It went up and people played less. It's like the worst stats. It also says here that solo play went up a bit. Fire team play, either exclusively or part-time, went down by about a third, which is pretty significant.
Mhm.
Low to average skilled players played about the same or a little bit more, whereas high skilled players played significantly less, with the highest skilled cohort playing 2 hours less on average than in previous weeks, a number that has otherwise been very consistent in most revamped weeks.
Very interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. And in
So it
case
didn't
anybody's
work and they're
wondering,
changing it.
It didn't work.
yeah, in case anybody's wondering, they have already said that they're reverting back to something else because that clearly was not what they wanted.
I'm really
it's
happy that they did this, though. I'm really happy that they
Mhm.
provided some feedback, because remember, there was that week where we just didn't hear anything. And even though it's not super detailed, I think it's perfect for what they did in the TWAB to go, like, just a brief overview to say, thanks for testing again. Thanks for being involved. This
Yeah.
did not hit our goals. We're changing it. I sort of really appreciate that that was actually put in the TWAB, because
Yeah,
I was sort
definitely.
of half expecting to hear nothing, because they already said they were going to just keep this right until
Let's go for it again next time.
dungeon, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Wasn't there like a date that they were just
It
going
was-
to keep in?
They
Until
were
the
going
next-
to keep it through November. So I think they
Right.
were kind of like, this sounds like a good plan. We can put that out. We can go, have Thanksgiving and have a bit of a holiday period and just chill on trials.
Man, when we were talking about it, it was so like for us, it just felt really obvious that you were going to find these again a bunch of smaller pools of people that were getting stuck
Yeah.
into places that just weren't going to be able to go anywhere. And like the fact that you couldn't reset your wins to try to get lucky for another card, it just spelled death to those cards. And so consequently, 33% less plays, right?
33%.
Yeah, that's
That's
a lot.
significant. I mean, even like having people play, 2 hours less overall. 2 hours, you can get, at least 2 cards done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah,
that's a
exactly.
significant portion of
It's a lot
time
of
and
time, yeah.
significant less being played.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm.
But it does say that, yes, so most of the data was either negative or neutral. So combined with the feedback on social channels, they are going to go back to a flawless pool for the foreseeable future. And I think it's probably the best thing that they can do until they bring out their full new matchmaking with solos versus solos and all that stuff.
So, how do you guys feel about the 5-0 stuff that they keep talking about, the blowouts? Because, like, I was listening to Fire Range and Drewski was talking about how Trials is inherently not set up to be SBMM. Like, you have
Right.
to go and get 7 wins in a row, basically. And that inherently means that you don't have SBMM acted. Because if you have SBMM,
Yeah,
you're going to trade wins, right?
it's a coin flip, basically.
Yeah, it's a coin flip, right? Like the tighter the SBMM, the more it's going to be a 50-50 win rate, which is statistically impossible then, to get 7 wins on your card, right?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that just wouldn't even be possible. So I find it fascinating. Like, do they go down this path where they try to get rid of the 5-0, the blowout, and start putting more matchmaking or SBMM in there, or and ruin the trials experience, or do they completely change the win structure or like the what is trials? You know, this whole going flawless thing. Like, if they don't want people to experience these blowouts, then maybe the whole goal of getting 7 wins in a row is like inherently flawed. You know?
It is weird.
Yeah.
I've always, as we've been reading the TWABs, I've always felt like they are focusing on the blowouts more than anything. It feels
Mhm.
like that is the thing they always bring up and they focus on really heavily. And I don't know, when I know for some people, if they're getting 5-0'd every game or 5-1, it's going to be exhausting and maybe those players will dip out. But I personally don't mind getting 5-0'd because I'll 5-0 sometimes, I'll get 5-0, it will be 5-4 sometimes. It's all over the place. And that's kind
Yeah.
of what is nice about not having skill-based matchmaking, is it tends to lead to more of that like varied playing that you experience. But yeah, I do find it a bit strange. I don't think it's the most important thing to focus on. I think that
Yeah.
it's a fair thing to focus on because players are going to get fed up and leave, but I don't think it's the most important thing.
I think it's similar to when you listen to the raid and dungeon team, right? They talk about like the flow of encounters. And they
Yeah.
talk about how they take the player through a really stressful thing, and then you have every raid will have a section where you talk to your team and you chill out and you do whatever, right? Vault of Glass, you jump down into the Gorgon maze, or
Mhm.
there
Dick
is
wall.
space for breathing between each encounter. And I think the same thing applies for PvP, depending on what they want trials to be. And I think blowouts, you know, when we had 5-0s, we were just chatting and we were just in automated mode. We're having fun streaming. We're talking to chat, blah, blah, blah. We still won. We won easily. And then at times like, okay, comms, shut up.
Yeah.
Right? We have to sweat here. And then you have an easy one and then you go back. And it's like, I feel like that is a good PvP experience, is when you have
I agree.
variation like that,
Yeah.
from going really sweaty to like just chilling out for a sec, to really sweaty to chilling out. But what do they want trials to be? Is trials still the pinnacle PvP experience where not everyone is expected to go to trial, not everyone's expected to go flawless? You know, we want every game to be sweaty. We want every game to almost be a coin flip. Like, and I think it is influenced. I've seen a lot of comments about this. It is influenced because the rest of PvP is not in the best state as well. And there is a lack of content in the other areas of PvP, and people are trying to make trials be their one-stop shop for their PvP experience in Destiny. And that's what I do. Like, I basically play trials is the only time I play PvP. And so I want it to be basically everything, and it obviously can't. So
Yeah.
That's interesting. When they first announced that they were really going to revamp trials, my question was, why are they putting so much time into the most elite of PvP activities and just completely ignoring kind of the base game, like the base
Right.
Crucible, you know?
When are you
And
talking about that, Brian?
to me, the like the whole point of Trials of Osiris was to be the elite thing, where skill-based matchmaking was not a factor at all. It was just connection-based matchmaking, and you put your best team together, and you go in there and you fight your hardest and try and get those 7 wins. And when Trials was at its best, I feel like that's what it was. And now what they have created out of Trials seems to be trying to be the Crucible for everybody. Like we don't. It's a weird thing. You said, like, what are they trying to make Trials? And from an outside looking in, I can't really see what they're trying to make Trials. Are they trying to make it the main Crucible mode, or do they still want it to be the pinnacle activity in the PvP experience?
Mm-hmm.
I think they had a pretty good idea of what they wanted it to be when they kind of relaunched it and changed a bunch of stuff. It felt like it was just not a pinnacle thing like comp or ranked could be if they were to go down that road. But like a special thing that happens on the weekends, it's 3v3, so it's a bit of a different experience in a way that everyone could go and get that loot to experience the armor and the weapons of Trials. And it felt like they were going in this direction of it's a place where you can kind of feel like you're in a bit of a tournament, or you can just go in there and like farm some materials and farm some rolls on some guns that you never had the opportunity of getting before. But then this most recent change went against all of that. Fundamentally went against like farming trials. It seemed like they really wanted to turn it into a thing for you to farm. Just like, you can keep playing on a flawless card and get adepts to drop. You can turn in the card to get another adept roll. It seemed like it was we want players to farm it regardless of skill levels and obtain loot and have their time appreciated and respected. But then it was like, let's put in this thing that makes you impossible to be able to farm the mode at all. And I think that probably happens because they're so focused on blowouts. I think really they just need to focus on.
It feels that way, right?
Right, yeah. It feels like just focus on what you want trials to be and make changes based on that. And and then that's it. Because like you're not going to be able to make it a fun experience for everyone. You're just not
all this matchmaking tinkering, like it definitely makes me worried that they're going to like try to strike some sort of balance between never having a blowout and also just having the middle bell curve being this awkward limbo of like strange games being played constantly because of this weird matchmaking. Like concerns me for sure.
I would love for them to just, seeing as they've done so much tinkering, I would love for them to just go back to week 1 for a couple weeks and just see how it goes. Now we're at this point in the trial's lifespan. Just see how it goes. You're messing with so many other things. You might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. They kind of got to settle on something too, because they're going to go on break in December and they're going to leave this unattended for a month. And the community is going to be playing a ton of it and they're going to be complaining on Twitter. So it's like they kind of got to settle on something. And I think that settling on the most popular thing that they've tried so far seems like a wise idea.
I agree. I think it feels like a good time to see how much of week 1 was just, nostalgia, getting rid of cheaters, getting rid of 3-peaking, the general hype, and to bring in the matchmaking of week 1 and just see what happens, see what the numbers look like, because then you've got like an actual test from week 1, which was like super hype and a lot of people just playing because they were discovering trials again and like just happy to be there. And then to now where we've gone through like, a fair few changes and maybe people aren't as hyped about trials and see if they would jump back in or not.
Yeah. I mean, the solo queuing experience has been a mostly positive thing for them. Like it's brought in a lot of people to be able to play trials for the first time and go flawless for the first time. So a lot of good things with that. And yeah, if they could just revert back to week 1, if they don't have any good ideas yet that they can implement, then I think that feels smarter. I don't think the flawless pool should be added because that just further splits the population. You got the Friday, Saturday crew, then you got the Sunday, Monday crew. It's like,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
At least you can hop in and play whenever and just choose to not go flawless if you're like wanting to play with other people later in the week. So you at least have the option to just play trials instead of being like, oh boy, I got 7 wins. My friends are going to abandon me.
Yeah. Just like to say goodbye. Just like sailing away on a ship. Goodbye. Remember me.
Yeah, we did get some good news in the TWAB. They're going to restart the Bungie Bounties.
They are, and they're doing it in a pretty big way.
Yeah, they're going all
So for anyone who doesn't know what Bungie Bounties are, because it's been a while, there's probably some new people who have no idea what they are. So generally what happens is you'll have someone from a certain region of the world, they'll be on a specific platform, and they'll play for like 2 hours. And you have to essentially stream snipe them and find them and beat them, and you get an emblem.
Yeah,
so that's what the Bungie Bounty is all about.
Yeah.
So in North America, we have a few.
Quite a few.
Quite a few. We have
emblem looks cool.
The emblem is cool, yeah. It's a cool emblem, and not many people have it,
kind of thing,
especially right now. So on November 8th, this is when it's going to start. That is soon. That's in 4 days. So next Monday, we're gonna have Leopard Stealth at 10 a.m. and that's on PC. Of course, there is crossplay, but PC and console don't naturally match each other. So if you have someone, if you're on console, get a PC buddy and just hop along with
Yeah.
them, and you can match all
Be
the
in their
PC
party.
people. But if you're on console, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter where they're at.
Then don't invite your PC buddy.
Yeah.
Then don't invite your PC buddy. Kick him out.
Fuck him and his 144 hertz.
So we have Leopard Stealth 10 a.m. November 8th PC. Amaze is on at 12 p.m. on console, and then Fallout is at 3 p.m. on PC. Then
Nice.
November 12th, there's Miss Kenna at 8 p.m. Pacific PC. November 13th, you have Sir Demetrius at 2 p.m. Pacific PC. We have Lock and Load Live at 4 p.m. PC. November 14th, we have FPS Crystal at 8 a.m. Pacific PC, and Gamer Girl Grey at 10:30 a.m. on console. And then we have Jay Sniperton, Briar's best friend, at 8 p.m. Pacific on console.
I noticed that Watts, you have informed that both Fallout Plays and Jay Sniperton that
Yes.
they are to, because they are now part of the DCP family, they are to go flawless or face the consequences,
Yes.
which is the spanking machine, of course.
Yes, you have to remain undefeated
big
or you get
spank.
sent to the spanking machine.
The great
Yeah.
spank.
It's just a rule.
Yeah, which probably will also result in sexual assault lawsuits. Maybe we
That's
ought to
why-
rethink the.
That's why we have an NDA. United Kingdom. You have one British UK boy, and that is more console. November 11th at 11 a.m. Pacific on console. That is, of course, 7 to 9 p.m. GMT.
Be funny if he was playing on PC.
Glad he's on console. It's good. And then we have France, November 10th and November 16th. Don Raffle and Gijondo. This is going to be really bad as we start getting to more countries, as I cannot pronounce anything. It's going to be a disaster.
Mm.
But they're both on console at 11 a.m. both times. Lots of cons. Interestingly, as you go down, there's a lot of consoles in other countries, but then anyway, in Europe specifically. And then we have Germany, November 9th and November 10th. We have XT1 Dus X and Phil. We have 10 a.m. Pacific and 9 a.m. Pacific. Apparently, Dus is doing both console and PC. So I guess he's
Wow.
doing like an hour
Splitsies.
hour PC, hour console. That's pretty cool.
Wow.
That's
Somebody
actually a
won the
good way to
lottery.
do it. That's a good way to do it. But there's so, I don't think I can read them all. There's so many. There's Italy.
Yeah.
So just to cover the countries, yeah, we have North America, United Kingdom, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Nordics, Poland, Russia, Middle East, APAC. There's like, they've tried to cover as many places as possible because that's been a big pain point with Bungie bounties. Is it's normally just either mostly America, or it will be some kind of European.
Seems to be like a whole continent missing.
We're under Australia Pacific, Asia Pacific, APAC.
Yeah.
Oh,
You are
okay.
an APAC.
We're APAC, and New Zealand's in there too.
Okay.
APAC.
I think one of the things I'd like to share, and I don't know how this applies, and maybe because when it comes to Bungie Bounty, there's so many people like, oh, why did that person get picked? Yeah. So when Bungie left Activision, like I in Australia, we have like an Asia Pacific team that looks after content creators there, and they have open Discord that you can get into if you're a content creator. Doesn't matter how big you are. And I'm assuming there are probably teams that look after each of these countries too. They're probably lumped into certain categories. You know, people say, oh, why the United Kingdom only has one. I don't know. But there are Twitters for each like Bungie representative in these areas. And if you are a content creator, your best way to get this kind of stuff is to get involved with your community and find out who your Bungie representative basically is, because that's where all this information is given. You know, we have Australian specific events, and I'm sure they asked for, literally just probably asked who in this region wants to do a Bungie bounty, and people probably just put their hand up and said, yeah, I'll do it. And that's how it happens.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Also, be happy for people that get picked to do a Bungie bounty. I see that happen all the time where it's like, oh, why didn't you pick this person? And it's like, listen, if you want to suggest to, a community manager that you would like your favorite content creator to have a Bungie bounty, that's totally fine. But don't do it in the way of like, why did this person get picked and not this person? You don't need to
No, I
poop
can't
on
believe Jay
people's
Snipperton
parade.
got picked and Fallout didn't.
Yeah, if you have a pissy attitude, it's not going to be received well.
It's just I'm sure for a lot of people, for most people, this is like definitely their first Bungie bounty and probably their first official working with Bungie on a thing. It's very exciting. Don't make people feel bad for being picked.
So go forth and find who represents your community.
Hunt their heads online.
Exactly.
Get yourself that title. Get yourself that emblem.
Before we completely leave Trials, though we kind of already had, they did say that tune in next week for a Trials Labs pre-brief and details on some other plans we have for the mode between now and the Witch Queen.
Pre-briefs.
So the mode?
The mode. They have plans. I don't know what it is. There are plans.
Exciting. Curious. Right?
Yeah. Oh, also, Iron Banner is in town.
Iron Banner.
But Iron Banner this time around is kind of special. Yeah.
Yeah.
The new Iron Banner armor glows when Iron Banner's in town. When Mr. Saladin is in the tower, you will be glowing.
That's cool.
I've seen pictures of it. I've actually played a lot of Iron Banner, but I haven't redeemed anything yet. Is it just the chest piece that glows, or is there more?
I've also seen an arm. I think it's wherever there's like an Iron Banner logo that seems to glow.
Oh, it looks like the wall of bond
and the
glows.
helmet have some stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. I dig it. Nice touch.
Very cool.
Yeah, it is a nice touch, and it's kind of neat that it only glows when Iron Banner is around.
Yeah, I do like that.
That's a cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
It means that so now it's like I put my transmog on for the Iron Banner armor because Iron Banner's in town, and then
that's cool.
I kind of like that.
Doing it for the glow up.
Yeah, do it for the glow.
Yeah.
We also got an announcement of a new community team member.
That's right.
And her name is Sam, also known as Queen Bartley or Miss Queen Bartley. You've probably seen her in chats. Plays a lot of Destiny. She's been in my chat a bunch and has been for a while. So this was really exciting because we all had no idea. And we're like, oh my God, it's you. So
really cool.
they, of course, did another little interview with her. So that's very, very exciting. It's just really exciting. Bungie is hiring so many people at the moment that it's just really nice and wholesome to see people being like, it was my first day as an audio engineer and I'm so happy and I had such a good time and I'm really happy to meet. And they're also hiring a bunch of people from the community. So seeing that is
really cool.
It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
It makes me happy.
Happy.
So they got 4 people now officially as community managers, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
4. Community's getting bigger.
They be growing.
Mm-hmm.
That is about it, besides some freaking awesome art, of course. Always awesome art.
Mm-hmm.
And the final part says, a few people have reminded us that our 30th anniversary pack and a slick new hunter set with a yellow beanie is releasing less than 5 weeks. So less than 5 weeks until we have our 30th anniversary. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to it. And it said that next TWAB is going to have details on an upcoming Trials Labs. Who knows what it's going to be this time? Maybe it'll be 9v9. Capture the flag.
It's going to be objective, right? Aren't they revisiting the objective?
I
don't
hope
know.
so.
I would love to see an objective again.
I really want to see more objective stuff.
Yeah.
And they're going to be doing a kickoff of sandbox conversations in preparation for December's patch.
Cool. What are they doing about Telesto?
Telesto is a rogue agent and does whatever it pleases.
It's currently shopping around waiting to be signed.
Yeah.
It's a free agent.
It's hiring its own community manager right now.
It is, yeah. Maybe that's why they hired so many. Someone's got to keep an eye on Telesto.
Yeah, one for Telesto.
Your first day at Bungie. All right, what am I doing? Your only job is to respond to Telesto bugs.
Every time
Wait,
we
I'm the only
update
person
something,
doing this.
or change something or add something, you have to check in on Telesto and see what's
I feel
going
like there's a whole division. You're in the Telesto division.
on.
There's 700 employees.
You're in the Telesto Besto division.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's it for the twab.
There you
It's
go.
a twab?
We got a twab. We talked
Did
trials,
you know that you can
Australian
have,
slang, twab, all that.
Did you know you can have 4 players in a Lost Ark party?
Wow.
Just putting it out
Did
there.
not know that. Four
Mhm.
players, huh?
For
Interesting.
regular questing and other things.
Nice.
How was the solo experience?
It's been great. That's
Yeah?
pretty much everything is soloable or more difficult solo. Did you know they also have missions that are kind of like Monster Hunter missions?
Nice.
really?
You go out, hunt a monster.
You get to carve a
kill it.
monster?
But I think the raids are like 16 man, and then there's also world bosses where you need like 30
World
plus
bosses.
people.
30 people?
Oh
Yeah.
man,
That
I want world
sounds like an
bosses in
MMO.
Destiny
I know.
so bad.
I do too. It's just so cool when
They
someone
flirted
finds a
with it in
world
Destiny
boss and-
1, and I feel like it worked in
Yeah.
Destiny 1. Like it was
It
cool.
was cool.
The Taken King, they had elements
Actually,
of
they
that.
flirted with it a little bit in Destiny 2, like at launch of Destiny 2, didn't they? Like there was certain like big old things that would spawn in.
Some of the seasonal stuff, they've had things show up that have been world boss ish, but nothing to the degree that we want.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
love it to be. So but in my ideal world, I would like it to be an end game like patrol area. World bosses appear, and I would even like it to say in the chat because now they actually utilize or the chat like a world
Yeah.
boss has appeared in X location.
Yeah.
Everyone
Yeah.
can get together and go.
Crota
fight
has
it.
been resurrected. Go fuck him up.
Budgie the smuggler
say-
has appeared.
They could say it like
Yeah.
that. That would be.
Go
would be
hunt down
ideal.
this world boss. Yeah.
I wonder if it's a limitation, like how many people they could get on the server or in an area at a time, that they can only make something so difficult before they start running into issues like that.
Yeah, I feel like it was a peer-to-peer thing when it came to the world matchmaking.
Yeah. Oh, it's one of those things that's on the wish list, right?
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, world bosses are just fun. It's just fun to have a bunch of people that you don't know get together and you feel like you're working with random people and you're kind of bonding, you get that bonding experience of doing something difficult with other players. And it's just really fun.
Mhm.
It's a fun
Yeah.
thing to do.
I always just imagine some sort of cinematic experience where you've got like 16 guardians all with Galahorn and like some warship goes like world boss warship and everyone's like hold and then fire and it's like all these rockets go towards like this massive ship and it blows up and then a big
That'd be
boss
amazing.
comes out.
You can do that in Lost Ark.
Yeah.
Stop.
They got
It has
Galahorns in
everything.
Lost Ark.
It's a weird game. It just has everything. I don't know what to tell you. It's got so much content. There's a billion things. Ridiculous.
But it's not officially
Oh,
out yet.
no, it's out for a week.
March. And yeah, but you can't play everything, can you? Isn't it like limited?
I don't know, actually. I don't know if it's limited.
Yeah, it's got to be.
We'll
limited.
find
For a
out.
beta. There's got to
We'll
be
find out.
something.
I'll get back to you in 200 hours. Let you know how it's going.
You guys want to do some Twitter questions?
I suppose so.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Tom Poo says, "Hey DCP, it's my birthday today, level 38, and you are my favorite gift every Thursday. Love you, and hi from Mexico. Don't eat Briar. He's my spiritual animal and life coach."
Is someone,
Life decisions.
is someone about to yank the cord on Briar?
What happened?
Your picture audio quality is everywhere, man. Like it's comical. Load up the stream and look at your face. It is dancing.
Oh man.
It's so good. Well, I heard eat Briar, so yes, I will eat
yes.
Briar. Also,
Yeah, we'll eat
happy
Briar.
birthday.
Yeah.
For your birthday, I will barbecue you, Briar. There you go. You're welcome.
That's not nice. That's not what he said. Moving on.
You honestly look like the
George
art
says-
department. We have an art department here at DCP. Yeah. They decided to animate your picture like that, That's what
That is weird. Is it still doing it?
Oh yeah, it's still doing
Yeah.
it. Dancing hard.
That's not great.
Oh god, it's your new graphics card. Your 3090.
Yeah, is it your 3090 acting
It's
up?
blowing
That
up. Did
PC's
you
not
load
even
up
turned
New
on.
World, Briar?
Oh no! Fucking Bezos got me again.
Bro, you might have to disconnect and reconnect to fix this
All right, I'll do that.
because your audio is still glitchy.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that was.
I'd like to keep it.
Beep, boop, beep, boop.
That's a feature. Okay, much
Hello,
better.
Briar.
Huh?
Hi.
Audio's still messed up.
Is it?
You downloading a bunch of porn
I
right
can
now?
understand. Are you downloading a bunch of budgie smugglers? What's going on?
Yeah, downloading terabytes
Budgie
of
smuggler porn.
budgie smuggler porn.
Well, I can understand you, so that's good. Just a bit robot-y. Could be worse.
Yeah, I got a 1 bar connection. I'll turn off my camera and see if that helps.
Okay.
Okay.
Hopefully that'll be okay.
Maybe
Better.
slightly
Better?
better.
George says, "What is your ideal matchmaking system for trials?"
Yeah, I don't know anymore. I really don't know anymore. I don't know what would be the best thing. It seems like an incredibly hard thing to tackle.
I don't think it's we obviously don't know what the matchmaking system is. What I think I would want from Charles is somewhere where I can farm, I guess, and have an enjoyable experience where the population is high.
Week 1.
Yeah, week 1. High
Which
pop.
was week 1.
Give me that high
But-
pop.
I am hesitant to say that is the best system because I don't know
Yeah.
if it was influenced by just all the hype.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's hard because obviously the reason they made the changes that they did is because they were trying to get ahead of people dropping out of the mode. So they were trying to make it a more enjoyable experience for players who are maybe not as good at trials. So I totally get all the changes they're making. I just don't know what the best change is to make as many players as possible have a good time. Because there's going to be some players who hate every time they get 5-0'd or every time they go up against a 3-stack and they're solo, they're immediately upset about that experience. I don't know if there's much you can really do to help those kind of people. Because there's also
not
people
gonna
who
please everyone.
yeah, there's people who, have come into my chat and said, yeah, there's no chance that I'm going to go flawless, but I like just getting in and trying to farm for a roll on a gun that I really like.
Yeah.
And that's their focus. So they really don't mind as much getting 5-0'd because it's like, well, couldn't win that match anyway. Rather it be over with quickly.
The mode is inherently different enough from like control and all that. It being 3v3 and also being round based and resets and all that. Like, it's an interesting experience for PvP. And some people also just like that, regardless. Even if they lose, they're like, oh, I just like playing the game mode. So, some people don't, obviously. Briar, are you still there? Or are you lost to the void?
Oh yeah, sorry. Now that I'm off camera, I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Briar is pulling out budgies and putting them in Speedos. And he's like, is this how you do it? No, Briar, put the bird down.
Me down to my budgie.
Put the bird down.
Briar's playing with Bungie right now.
Land Shark X says, do y'all expect the 30th anniversary content to have any substantial developments in regard to Xur and the 9 with maybe some juicy lore or something? If yes, what do you want to see? For hints on the stats of either Shore and Vinya. Vinya?
I got like most of that.
Yeah.
I had the lore question
Kinda.
about Xur and the 9 and what do you want to see?
You think there's going to be some juicy
Festival
lore?
of the Lost. Festival of the Lost had lore and voice lines and all of that. So, isn't it reasonable to think that it will have something?
Well, this is what I'm concerned about is how much story is going to be put into dungeons, especially when it's almost feels like side content. Like it's obviously not essential, right? It's a 30th anniversary. So is there going to be
It's hard
something
to say.
significant?
I
Yeah.
don't
There is.
know.
I hope there is.
Yeah.
Briar just
I don't know if
disconnected.
there will because it's clearly supposed to be like kind of a meme thing, right? It's in the loot cave. It's got like all the stuff. You're getting Galahorn. It's kind of like a best of Destiny memories. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of those things. I think we get excited about this content, knowing a piece of content's coming down the road, but we're expecting, like, we start expecting things of the level of an expansion. Like a big lore drop is going to be an expansion, right? It's not going to be, like you said, it's not going to be a mainline experience for this 30th anniversary. It's more like a, hey, it's a 30th anniversary. Here's a cool thing. Get some loot, you know. Expecting it to truly expand the Destiny universe, you know, it's a little, that's what the expansions do.
I'm having a look at Landshark's tweet here because I can see the rest of it now, and they ended it by saying, "I hope for hints of the status of either Shore, Orin, or Lavinia." And I guess what they're hinting at is there is some loose ends that they could tie up regarding Lavinia and the Nine. She actually met like Savathun in the Nine's realm, so there could be, I guess, an addition to the lore coming into Witch Queen that maybe they could sort of wrap up a couple of bits of story there, which would be really cool. But I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know what I was gonna say. I immediately forgot. You know when you have a thought and then you talk and then immediately goes and you're just like, never mind.
Axeman A says, if Icebreaker, Pocket Infinity, and Invective ever got brought to, it'll be the #1 gun, still break the game.
Yes.
Invective, Icebreaker, and something else got brought into the game. It would
Pocket Infinity.
Pocket Infinity. It would be #1 and break everything.
What if we put Briar in an engram?
Yeah, we throw Briar. I think Bagel said put him in an exosuit with Crocs on his feet. I think that's definitely the way to go.
I'm gonna try to restart my computer. I'll be right.
Okay. Briar's restarting. It would definitely break everything, and Telesta would be the leader of that ragtag bandit.
Doesn't Pocket Infinity, like literally break the game? Like actually just break the game. The game does not work if which I find so funny. Like it's so funny that you could change one thing and it just destroys everything. It's great.
Yeah,
it's just like it's true to its lore, which is more hilarious. It's like Pocket Infinity.
What's the lore on that? Let's teach us about the lore on Pocket Infinity.
Oh, I don't know the lore about Pocket. Didn't you collect it from Venus? Wasn't there? I think I made a video on Pocket Infinity. Is that the one you made by collecting fragments from Venus?
You know, it was one of the
one that goes
like that. Yeah.
Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, and
Pew, pew,
I'm
pew,
gonna
pew.
say it pulls bullets from time or something silly like that. What's the lore on that? What's the lore on that? You know what? There was probably
one of those early ones. Yeah, you got like an exotic bounty.
Yeah, it was an exotic like quest thing.
Yeah.
It's all
remember those like they were yesterday.
Hold on. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Briar's been abducted by the Exos. Mylon said, "Oh no," and ran away.
What happened to Mylon? Did a spider get in the house? Kangaroo wandered in?
Well, this is going well.
You sound better, Briar. I think.
Do I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Little
Make sure to open Craig back up.
Oh.
It's all falling apart, kids.
Was it a spider?
Oh, there's some dude in his thongs and his budgie smugglers came in and he said, "Mate, you got a pack of Winnie Blues." I said, "No, babe, I have Mrs. Max if you want that."
Naturally.
This is like Squid Game, but DCP's version, and slowly we're being taken over by spiders and
next episode.
technology. Maybe I'll get taken over by a cute demon anime boy. That would be disastrous.
Briar, next.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe.
Dave Mullen says the glove gave to Iron Banner armor during Iron Banner week is neat. Wearing Iron Banner and emblems would progress your iron bounty faster. I just looked over at you guys.
I'm having to apply 100% brain power to this right now.
If I got an idea. If Brian tells us the name, I've got the tweets up, and then we can help translate. So that was Dave, right? Dave
Can we
said
translate it into Australian?
the glow they gave to Iron Banner and
Aussie
they gave to Iron
translation,
Banner
please.
armor during Iron Banner week is neat. Do you all remember when wearing Iron Banner and emblems would progress your Iron Banner bounties faster? There's something along those lines need to come back at some point.
I like the idea of like getting strapped up for battle, you know, like wearing your raid armor to go raid and go wearing your Iron Banner to go play an Iron Banner. However, there's also the problem of you want people to be able to look the way they want. So that's the issue we ran into.
Yeah, well, I think it fundamentally goes back to the issue of why does Iron Banner exist and what its purpose is every time it comes around. And it's one of those things that is like really overdue for a revamp. You know, like Iron Banner needs to be something else, and the reward structure needs to be more like trials. You know, like where you could focus engrams and stuff. Like that's a significant thing. So, like maybe that's the direction of why you would wear certain pieces of armor or something, or some sort of incentive beyond just representing Lord Saladin and the glowing sigil and all that, you know? Like Iron Banner itself needs a complete rework.
Yes, that's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we need, I don't know. I'm probably impartial on progressing your bounties quicker with wearing armor or emblems. But I do like the way they went with the glows, and I think we need more loot and more cool stuff to chase in Iron Banner.
Yeah.
To get people in.
What's the name, Brian?
What's the next one?
I put the list of all the questions in the group chat, and
Oh, okay.
All right.
in order that I've got them.
Nice.
Daviator89 says, with the U-turn on Trials matchmaking announced in today's TWAB, a new Coke like switcheroo. If so, do you prefer Pepsi?
What?
With the U-turn on Trials matchmaking announced in today's TWAB, flip from win-based matchmaking to card-based, have Bungie successfully pulled a new Coke-like switcheroo? If so, do you prefer Pepsi? Okay, this doesn't even make sense when you read it.
But I missed I missed the Bungie poll day, and I thought Briar immediately started talking about Coke New and like Pepsi, and I was like, "What in tarnation?" Wow.
No,
I don't get the new Coke. What does that mean?
I don't prefer Pepsi.
When Coke did like a new flavor.
Wait, is that like a recent thing, or is that a?
It was a few years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it went over like a fart in church, and they switched it back to the regular recipe.
Fart in church.
Slap it against them pews. Next.
I mean, I'm just glad that they acknowledged it didn't achieve their goals, and they're switching it back so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we have a different Bungie than what has been in the past. Normally, this would have been like a 1 month change. Be like, well, we'll see next month if we're going to reverse it or not. But they've been on it every week doing changes and stuff. So good about that. Happy about that.
I do like that. That's nice.
Plu says, would you like the old back to Destiny 2, for example, seeing the dude on the bottom of the leaderboard gets G-Horn? Also, sorry for my question last week. I was high again.
And then I got high. And then I got high.
And I got high.
Yes. I would like for the old reward screen to come back to D2 so we could see the dude at the bottom of the leaderboard get Galahorn and get angry at him. Yes.
Those were great memories.
Especially in Crucible.
Yeah. They were fantastic memories.
Destiny subreddit needs more of those memories being posted and people getting angry over.
I forgot that was a thing. I'm like, wait, was that a thing? I'm like, yeah, it was. You saw what everyone got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the D1 reward screen. Everyone, their rewards would pop up. I missed that.
Yeah, right.
Ian Brandon Anderson says, "How does this sound as a way to bring Icebreaker back? Grant ammo regen only when killing frozen. To you, it would be situational to be overpowered in PvP."
Yes.
And ammo, Grand
I missed
ammo.
that. I'm just gonna stay silent.
I can read it. It's okay. So how does this sound as a way to bring Icebreaker back? Grant ammo regen only when killing a frozen target. I feel like it would be too situational to be overpowered in PvP. Kill frozen target, get ammo.
With your special?
With Icebreaker. To bring Icebreaker back.
You have to be a frozen target? Nah. Nope.
I feel like Tefty's lost it.
Yeah, Briar's cooked my brain.
A question from Tiago. Can we have a refresh on Ada bounties, please? I want more transmog material. A refresh? Don't you just what do you mean by a refresh? You complete
More
a bounty and then
variety?
you get a new bounty.
I don't know.
Oh, do you mean like if I don't want to do? Isn't it just like a you just pick the category and you get like a random objective?
Yeah, you pick like Gambit,
refresh on
Crucible,
those?
Strikes, Raid.
I don't know what happens if you abandon one. Maybe that's what they're talking about. What happens if you get one and then abandon it? Can you not get another like Cruci one or Raid one or whatever?
There's a limit to how many bounties you can do. Yeah, because you only get 10 per season.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
so are they
wondering.
asking like
I'm wondering if
because
that
it's
was
a
what it
long
was.
season?
Yeah, or like it lift the
That would actually
limits
make
on
sense.
it. So because, yeah.
Lifting the limits in general, I think I would still like to see. Also, I think that it's fair to want a reset like in this season because it's a long season. So
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
that'd be nice.
Yeah, right. So get rid of the limit, right?
Yeah, with the transmog stuff, I feel like we're all on the same page of being like, yeah, they should just give us more in general. We kind of just gone with that at this point until they like talk about it again. We just assume that's what we would prefer, you know.
Yeah.
Cool. Next question.
Briar, take it away. I don't know.
Briar
Maybe
here?
you're okay, Briar. I think he just left.
Did
That's
Briar?
I'm still here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you messing with the budgies?
You tugging the budgie?
I'll try. I think you
Yeah,
guys
it's
just
not
read
great.
it. Like you can't.
Yeah,
hear me.
I can just read it. That's fine. That's fine. Next question is from Eric Webster, who says, "Hello all, long-time listener here. I was wondering what Destiny systems you guys think really need a complete overhaul. Outside of power level, everyone hates power level. I personally truly despise the Postmaster system and wish it operated differently."
You know, I think needs work is the armor mods now. I think armor mods should be next to be really thought about. And I was going to tweet this out, and I'm interested to hear people's feedback on this. But what's the point? Like when I'm playing PvP now, I feel like my gears, my armor mods are always the same because I don't want to take off unflinching, targeting, and quick swap.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, firstly, all those things are also done by weapon rolls. And secondly, I just feels like they're eating up points on my armor, so I don't actually have anything special as an armor mod build, right? For PvP anyway. So are they outdated now? I don't know. I've never asked him on this yet. Do you think those mods are needed? Because I feel like they actually more hinder PvP than they do help, because every time you switch your weapons, you're like, oh crap, now I've got to quickly change all my mods, you know, before the next round begins.
Right.
And that doesn't feel very good.
Yeah, something that the game is desperately missing is some sort of loadout system that you can immediately swap to. Like, it has been years that we've been needing something like that. And I know Dim has something that you can cobble together if you have multiple sets of stuff in there, but the game really could just use a loadout system in general. I think that's one thing. In terms of the systems in Destiny, I would personally like to see a revamped weapon mod system, kind of like what you're talking about, Mylon, but like a little bit more, I don't know, intricate with what you could do with
You mean like
mods.
weapon crafting?
Yeah. Well, I see. Is weapon crafting actually going to hit that mark though? Because
Dunno.
is it just
I
going
don't
to be
know.
like, oh, let's put in the slots of what you want, and then it's basically a weapon post, or once you craft the weapon, you basically have the same thing that you would have had before weapon crafting existed. You know, like I want to see something that allows you to have a more complex chain of traits added to a weapon, but that's also a balancing nightmare. Like, good luck for PvP.
I actually think, well, actually, I can say this. And I haven't really mentioned, but talking about the Australian region, we actually had a little private, I guess, meeting with DMG, Cosmo, and I want to say Robert Stevens, one of the Bungie devs, producers, and we could ask them any questions. And they actually spoke about mods and that they want to make it more accessible to new players and how you look at that system. So they are actually thinking about what they can do with armor mods.
Okay, interesting.
Because I sort of, in general, agree there is this whole side of the game that is hard to explore. Like if you just get into Destiny, it's very easily overlooked.
Yeah.
Like there's so many other things you could be doing. And I overlooked it for many, many years before I actually had to use it for like solo flawless attempts and actually like weapon build and armor builds.
Yeah, I think maybe that's part of it, is that it's in a system that showed up afterwards, and it's been added to as time has gone by with Destiny 2. And there's no straightforward pathway to understand why you would interact with the system until you're trying to do like high level content.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's
Yeah.
kind of like, well, I guess I have to go to a YouTube video to even
Yeah.
remotely understand what I'm going after. You know?
Yeah.
Next question is from Logan Gramling, who says, if this was already addressed, feel free to skip, but will the flawless pool matchmaking activate upon going flawless regardless of the day, or at Sunday reset like before? Hopefully not option 1.
We don't
They
know
don't
yet.
actually specify here in the TWAB what they're going to do, but I assume it would be
Sunday.
I would assume it would be Sunday, seeing as that's what they had kind of landed on for a while.
Mhm.
I would assume it would be Sunday.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'll be like, we're going to try going back to flawless pools just on all the time. Which I think they said already didn't work or something.
I hope they go
don't
back
know.
to the first week. Just go
I
back
would
to
love
that.
to just see what it's like. Just give it a try.
Yep.
Just give it a This week in video games said, given a bunch of content is going into the DCV in Witch Queen, what's the one thing you'll miss? I'll miss the empty tank lost sector with the fallen DJ booth, music, and strange fallen versus Cabal combat area in the back. Keep up the great work. Loving the Aussie facts. We all love Aussie facts.
I can't remember what's been taken away in which Queen.
Tangled Shore.
Tangled Shore.
I mean, the DJ booth is probably the best one for me. Showing up to
You
Club
can't go
Fallen.
in there when you're streaming because you get DMC.
You get Paul McCartney.
Really?
Paul McCartney DMCing you?
Paul McCartney's coming and he's sitting in Destiny streams all day,
Taking
waiting
your
for
stream of
someone to
money.
go in that lost
I
sector.
didn't know that.
Yeah, if you have the music on.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I can't say there's too many other areas of the Tangled Shore that excite me.
Yeah,
I like the Spider as a character. I think Spider's a great character, so I'm excited to see what they do with him. But he's probably going to get capped
Excited
by
to see how they murder
Marazov.
him.
He
He's
probably
going
is.
to get murdered.
He's gonna get squashed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did you read out the Christopher Stewart one? The one right before that? It's highlighted.
That's the next one.
Oh, my bad. Weird. Why is yeah? Okay, my bad.
We're falling
Um,
apart without Briar.
Never mind.
Yeah, it's all falling apart. Everything's fine. Christopher Truitt says, "Will we ever see the fish ghost again? Will we ever get one ourselves, or is Elsie keeping that secret to herself? What's the lore on
Okay.
that?"
I can actually tell this again. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
People think I'm breaking
Again.
people think I'm breaking NDAs. It's not. We didn't sign an NDA. This was something organized from the community team, the ANZ community team. We asked about the fishy thing. The answer was no, we won't get any more information about it, but it was also said in a way which could have been taken sarcastically, and there was no further discussion. So take what you want from that. We asked Robert if the fishy thing was ever be explained, and it was no, and then DMG, I think, made a meme and said there was no time to explain.
Cool. Now we know.
There you go.
I know. So no, you
It's a
can't have the
fish.
fish ghost.
Yep.
I don't know. I wouldn't hold your breath either. I wouldn't hold your breath.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Next we have Hey Blaze, who says, "What is the hardest thing that you deal with as a content creator?"
I would say the grind of maintaining your own schedule. Like it's double-edged. It's you think you're free, but then you're essentially hooked onto another treadmill of stuff that you're always making sure that you're trying to take care of. You know what I mean? So it's like getting into content creation, if you get successful in it, you're thinking you're getting rid of the job treadmill, but in reality it's just trading one treadmill for another. So
Yeah, it's being self-employed and not having a boss is great because you can shift things around. Like, say if you need to have a doctor's appointment or you have a bunch of stuff to do in one day, you can put in some extra hours on another
Mhm.
day. But the negative side is that you're not going to be able to get that week off for Christmas or a week off for Thanksgiving or take 2 weeks off for vacation without feeling stressed about it. No
Yeah.
one's paying you if you're not doing the stuff.
Yeah.
So you can't really ever feel like you can just take time off and not lose a lot of things. Like,
Yeah.
I know when I went to Japan for 2.5 weeks, it took me maybe like 4 or 5 months to get back the sub count that I was at on Twitch. Like, you take 2 weeks off, you have half a year to get back what you lost.
Tell me that. See, look, that's my anxiety right now. I've taken 2 weeks off to finish my PhD, and it's super annoying because I'm like, all the momentum I've started to build on Twitch, all the momentum was building on YouTube, all the scheduling that I've done is now just going to be like restart. I think that is the uncertainty of content creation is you sink a lot of time and hours into either making YouTube video or Twitch, and it's always a risk. You're always going, I hope when I release this, people watch it. Because if they don't, then I've wasted my time. And nothing's guaranteed. And I think that's like a daily battle that you're having is what's the next thing I can talk about that will get clicks, which will actually pay the monies.
And back to that question, I think the crux of the content creation is dealing with that emotion of knowing that when you're creating something, it's essentially a gamble every time you're making content because you don't know if people are going to show up and want to watch or consume the content or anything like that. And so you have this like mental struggle that goes on, and you see it a lot on Twitter. People talk about like the mental health around content creation is very toxic because the creators themselves are always hard on themselves and like are constantly beating themselves up. I know I've done that in the past many times, beating myself up over whether or not I've could have done this or that, whatever. And like then when you get reaffirmed with the loss of like statistics from like taking the time off or something, it's like a double-edged sword, you know?
Yeah. It's like
working from home for years at a time can be really lonely too.
That's another thing, right? Yeah, most content creators are probably just in quite a small office and they're just in there all the time. And of course it's work that we enjoy, so it's different to going to an office job or whatever you're doing. But you do tend to work longer hours. So you're doing something that you enjoy, but you're sitting on your own in these four walls for longer than most people. So you do that for many years and you're you're alone, you're segregated, you have to put in like a lot of time. You can't really just take time off without feeling guilty about it. So it's really just that all slowly starts to wear people down, and you'll see it all the time, like Hefty said on Twitter, of people being like,
Yeah.
I'm burnt out, I need a break, I need something, I need to get away.
Yeah,
'Cause
mental health deteriorating.
Content creation is pretty bad for your mental health. You have people calling you terrible things. You have potentially people like threatening you and doing all sorts of bad stuff. And on top of that, you of course have the long hours, and it's being very lonely. And yeah, it can be bad for mental health. It has a lot of positives. It allows me to, if any of my cats are sick, I can go take them to the vet, and I can do it immediately, just like that.
Yeah.
But the negatives is that it can be brutal on your mental health. So it's just the game makes you want to grind and stream every day and stream all the hours and make all the videos. But if you do that, you're gonna be not feeling great.
Yeah.
So it's better to try and get a schedule that you can keep that is good for your mental health. And maybe you won't be as successful as you would have been if you had grinded super hard that whole time. But you can be fairly successful and have a good balance and keep good mental health as well.
Yeah.
It's just so important. Look after yourself.
Yeah, the mental health aspect is so important. It also, someone said in chat, like it's like every other small business owner type of thing, and like you're not
Yeah.
wrong. It is very much like having a small business. It's just disconnecting from that small business is, I think, more difficult as a content creator than if you own a shop down the road that you go to, and like when you close up, you're like, all right, I'm disconnecting from the cookie factory that I built. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's I think
It's also the creative aspect of it too. It's like
Yeah.
going from a musician where you did things as a hobby to like, okay, now you've got to release a hit single every week, and when you like try to force
Yeah.
creativity, that's where a lot of pressure comes from too. Is like, okay, like what's the next big lore topic, and how am I going to deliver it? I
Yeah.
need to have something catchy and something clickable every,
Yep.
It's
And
funny because we're
that's
in the same
tough,
trap
real
as
tough.
people that are consuming content. Like we have to play the game of what gets the numbers.
Yeah. You're always thinking about it, you know?
Hope
For
Bear,
those that
Hope Bear actually joined.
going
Pope
on
Bear just
today?
accidentally
Is it a
joined our
full
DCP
moon?
call.
What's happening
Oh,
Hilarious.
on
Yeah.
his phone? Yeah, it's like
crocodile.
what it's like what Mylon said, where even if you're taking time off, you're thinking about the next thing. So you're never relaxing. You're always thinking about the next thing, or you're making the next thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like the thing with content creation that's hard to kind of cut of I'm working, I'm not working, is that you might be talking to people in Discord, you might be responding to tweets, you might be like responding on Instagram, and all of that is technically work. So it's really
Yeah.
hard to tell what is work and what's not work. So then you
Yep.
kind of just end up working all the time.
Also, with like setting up businesses, technically you can set up a bunch of small businesses and you can feed them like separately at a time, or have people be set up to be doing things for them. Whereas when you're doing content creation, it's like you are the content. You're the product essentially that you're making.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
I love these conversations. We could talk all day about
We really
content
could.
creation.
definitely, yeah.
Like next week to get a question, what are the best parts about content creation? Because there's a whole bunch of good
Oh
stuff,
yeah,
dude.
for sure. Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff. I mean,
Yep.
yesterday is a prime example. I was at the emergency vet. Tobias is fine now. I was at the emergency vet for 5 hours. I wouldn't be able to do that with just a job. I wouldn't even have known something was wrong with him if I was outside working, right? Because
Yeah.
he's totally fine, but I saw something was a little bit off, and I took him to the vet to go check it out. And that is what working for yourself gives you the opportunity to do.
Yep.
Which is the biggest positive for me, and being able to look after your family and stuff is important. Next question is from Mr. Macalito, who said, considering GCX will be on a cruise ship and DCP are well known for their piracy shenanigans, how will you all go about taking control of said ship? What's everyone's role? And how will you introduce Mylon to these piracy adventures? He's Australian, so it's in his genes.
It's true.
I mean, you just tell them that
I'll
you're the
probably be-
captain, right?
Well, I feel like I would run distraction. like I would run up to the captain like, mate, a guy would have put your budgie smugglers on, jumped off the board. I've got his thongs still, and they're like, huh? And then you know,
You knock him
Briar or
out.
Tefty bonk will come behind while I'm running distraction, and then we'll take control of the ship, right?
Briar's carrying dynamite somewhere. I don't know what he's doing with it, but he's off there somewhere walking around with dynamite.
Never mind me. I'm just carrying this dynamite.
With the Fosters in the other hand.
Yeah. Do you guys have any Fosters?
Tefty should drive the ship. As we know, Tefty's great.
I
but,
am a fantastic ship driver.
Ship driver.
Captain.
You would make a really good looking
Specializing in
captain.
parking.
Like,
I have.
we put a boat hat on you and a
parking.
pipe.
Dude, you wouldn't believe.
Are you thinking of
you
Popeye?
would know when I've parked at a dock. You will know. It'll be very clear.
Let's just say if we're on that
From the
GCX
screaming.
cruise ship, whatever island we're pulling up on, we'll know that we're there.
Be like, okay, they're
There's a
here.
GCX ship. Next question is from Scoobaroo. In the lull of November for Destiny 2, what other games will everyone be playing? Final Fantasy 14, Forza Horizon 5? Anything catching anyone's eyes?
Forza Horizon.
I'm playing Lost Ark for a week.
Yeah.
And then...
And
Oh.
then?
Yeah. Then what?
And then?
Well,
Sorry.
so actually, there is a game that came out the other day that I am interested in playing, and I will play it after the Lost Ark beta is over. It's a game called The Legend of Tianding, which I'm probably saying that terribly wrong. It's about Taiwan, so you know this will fast track us to getting blacklisted from China. So
Okay.
I'm all
nice.
about that.
Excellent.
And it's a fast-paced side-scrolling action game, but the storytelling is really interesting. Like honestly, just check the game out. It's called The Legend of Tianding. It's on Steam and Nintendo Switch, and it just looks really cool. It's got a lot of style to it. It's getting reviewed very, very well.
Nice.
Just looks like a game that I wanna give a shot.
I heard Briar will be abstaining from any racing games for the rest of the year. Pretty sad.
Yes, yeah, it's no race.
No race November.
That doesn't make any sense. No, there's no ends.
Right. That's good.
Next.
D
Question.
Shadowblade said he's going to be playing Elden Ring in November. And if you are, please send me whatever you have so I can also play Elden Ring in November. Thank you.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
I'll record it all like I'm live streaming. And then when the game goes live, I'll just put it on the stream. That'd be great. That sounds great. I'd like that. Next question is from the Black Guardian, who said, I've noticed that a lot of content creators raid or host other streams. Some don't and just end their stream. I've seen Tefty sometimes raid a random streamer just to pass along the support. Which practice do any of you recommend? Any thoughts or advice is appreciated.
The random stuff
Yeah.
has been awesome most of the time. Like, you can accidentally raid a bad person.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
But for the most
the risk
part,
with random person is you might get someone racist or someone you really don't agree
Yeah.
with, and you don't really want to support that. But
yeah,
I don't. It's very rare, to be honest, because Twitch
Yep.
sort of sorts that out.
yeah.
Unless
exactly.
it's when you go to the 0 viewers, it's a bit of a dice roll. no one's vetted them that no one's vetted them yet.
Yeah.
I would say generally I would just recommend rating someone, whoever it is, at the end of the stream. It's just a really nice way to build community. Because I was doing YouTube videos before streaming on Twitch with Destiny. And when I started streaming, a big part of why I felt welcome to the Destiny community on Twitch was people rated me and they stopped by and say hi and they introduced their community, and that was really awesome. So I think rating is
Yeah.
fun.
I think it's interesting because I think the lineage goes back to the Borderlands 2 directory with Goth and Broman and all that, and they
Yeah.
had a thing where they were trying to, at least if I recall correctly, they wanted to try to bring everyone up in the directory as much as possible,
Yeah.
and they brought that forward into the Destiny directory because when high tide all the boats rise type of concept.
Yep.
Which is smart, and also it's healthy to build friendships and actual friendships. Not
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
not business contacts, but friendships in the business, you know.
And
Yeah.
it's nice to see communities like crossover, because then
Mm-hmm.
like when I'm not streaming, I can go in whoever's chat who I've raided before, and I'll see a bunch of my community in there and other people in there, and it's just
Yeah.
it's just nice.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah. I mean, the only time that I don't raid is if I've had like a bad stream and I'm in a bad mood because, chat's often like a mirror. They reflect your attitudes, and if you're in a shitty mood, then chat's in a shitty mood. You might just dump a bunch of angry hobbits onto someone else. So, the times that I don't raid is and also if I'm just feeling tired, I'm in a rush and like I can't hang out in that person's stream and at least lurk for a little bit. Like that's the times where I don't raid into people because I feel it's a bit like a hit and run. Do you know? Like, oh, say bye. Like you raid into someone and you can't hang around and watch their content. So that's my rule. That's my rule for not raiding is I'm in a bit of a shitty mood and I'm not in a good space to support someone, so I don't do it. But most of the time I do.
Yeah, most of the time I do. I normally don't just on Thursdays because I'm gonna host DCP right after. So whoever I raid, it's like, all right, immediately unhost them DCP, and it just feels a little weird. So I prefer to just not. Next question is from Visual Reversal that says to follow up on pumping gas in Oregon. We don't tip the gas boy. Love the show.
Gas
Mylon
boy?
is a great addition.
Yes, boy.
Gas boy, now you
We
say.
don't tip the gas boy, apparently. Can anyone tell me if they do tip the gas boy?
In
If you like
Oregon.
live in a place where it's a thing that it happens frequently. Obviously, if you're coming in from somewhere else, maybe you do tip them because you think you should.
Yeah.
Today I
think-
learned Oregon is filled with cheapskates.
Your mic seems pretty good right now.
Yeah, you
Brian.
sound better,
Yeah?
Briar. I think
Yeah,
you
you
might have
sound-
cleared up your internet.
Oh, we can get some Briar for the final.
You've had your infection cleared up.
Good. Regular Dingo says, does Ash have to make new splash art for Podrick? Mylon, now that the beard is gone? And can she include the anaconda, please?
Just a snake. Snake around the neck. Well, I think it's gonna be a mo for a little bit, so I wouldn't be drawing any new artwork anytime soon. Once this grows in, I think I'm gonna give just a mustache a shot, and then I'll probably get back to the beard.
I like
Called
the way
the-
you say mustache. It makes
Yeah,
me think of moose.
Mustachone.
Call it the boa constrictor.
Mm.
The furry boa constrictor. Very cannibal.
Unity Supremacy says, hey, DCP, longtime fan. Which of these Aussie facts sounds the least believable?
Oh no.
So the 3 Aussie facts, which sounds the least believable? First one is, we lost one of our prime ministers at sea, and they named a swimming center after him. One of our other PMs set a world record for beer sculling, and the name of our capital, Canberra, means woman's cleavage.
I've told you all these. I've told
to
you
me.
2 of these already.
Yeah,
I think it's
I know.
all sounds believable.
Which is
I've
the
told you 2 of
Sounds
these
believable?
facts. Yeah.
Sounds like what a bunch of convicts would get up to.
Yeah.
Convicts and cops, right? You can't forget the cops.
Yeah, I think Canberra is the one I wouldn't believe.
I guess that would be.
Yeah,
the
but
one.
it's
I
probably
believe
still
them all.
true.
Probably still true.
Mm-hmm.
Hugo Rune 79 says, which 2 different and incompatible animal species would you most like to see interbreed in a cruel genetic experiment? And what kind of creature do you imagine this unholy union would create?
Why is it a cruel experiment? Why can't it be a wonderful experiment that creates a majestic beast?
Okay, Dr. Moreau.
Because it would require some genetic splicing or something to make it work.
So splicing. I do have a splicing on
Hmm.
Let's
2 animals
see.
together, was that the question?
Yeah, 2
Yeah.
animals
Yeah.
together.
How about pigs and birds?
So pigs
Then
can
pigs
fly.
can fly.
Yeah.
Flying pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should make budgies and snakes. They've already got a lot in common, I guess.
Okay. Here we
How
Can you
go.
about
imagine
koala
flying
bears
snakes?
and tigers?
Koalas
Ooh,
and
that'd be
tigers.
bad.
A
I'll
giraffe.
give you a drop there.
Giraffe and an anaconda.
Ooh.
Is that just an extra long anaconda?
But it's a
Its
reptile.
neck its neck is just floppy. The giraffe's neck just has got no.
It walks with its neck
No
all
leverage.
slithering.
I'm gonna go with a spider and a cheetah. Just to
Ugh.
cause
Fuck
havoc.
you.
Ah.
You're welcome.
Good God.
That's like inventing fast zombies.
I just keep thinking of a spider and a dog because my dog Billy had a spider costume for Halloween. It's like a big
those are
red,
great.
big red back, and I just thought it'd be hilarious to see a giant spider dog running around. You're like, holy shit, spider dog,
Got like a dog face, so it's cute. But
Yeah.
spider, yeah.
creepy spider legs. Yeah,
Like a little creepy, but kind of cute.
Pico says, follow up from last week's question, Australia edition. You can only pick one candy for the rest of your life, and these are all Australian candies. Arrow Bar versus Cadbury Snack.
Arrow bar. I know what all these are. I'm cheating.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I
Cadbury
should go first.
snack. What's a Cadbury snack?
Your
What?
taste in candy is suspicious, to say the least. So I'm going to go Cadbury Snack.
Aero bar is like minty. It's like a chocolate
Minty?
mint almost. Yeah.
What's a
There's
Cadbury
also,
snack?
there's also a non-mint one. The base one isn't minty.
Isn't the base is minty?
No, it's not.
Green.
Arrow bars, minty?
And the mint one is mint. There's a regular one that's not minty.
I thought they all were mint.
Choo
very-
Choo Bar
they're fluffy.
versus Polly Waffle. Polly
Polly
Waffle
Waffle.
just sounds fun.
Take a Polly waffle.
I don't even know these. these are English ones, right?
I
You
don't
said
think
Australian.
those are.
Polywaffle.
Curly Whirly versus Picnic.
Curly
Now
Whirly.
we're talking curly whirly, yeah.
Curly whirly.
Curly whirly. Curly
So
whirlies are great.
Picnic's got like peanuts and stuff in it, and curly whirly's like caramel chocolate.
Curly. It's curly.
Curly.
It's curly
I love
chocolate.
caramel.
Is it a pretzel?
Yeah.
Looks
No.
like a pretzel.
It's like a DNA strand. It's like
I'm looking at it right
twisted.
now. It's like it looks
Yeah.
like the bones are a pretzel, but it's not. Huh.
But it's
Okay.
caramel on the inside with chocolate.
Ah, it sounds delicious.
That's good.
Yeah.
The Mohegan 9 says you have $5. You can either buy a Costco chicken or 2 flowers for your significant other.
He would prefer a Costco chicken.
I think my wife would too, frankly.
Brought me home food. That's great.
I don't
Is
have
a
Um,
Costco chicken just like a hot chicken you buy from the shops?
What? Briar just
Oh, it's Pope's doing. Pope appeared in chat and Brian got taken.
he got taken out.
It's Pope behind the wings.
I'm gonna go with the
strings.
flowers, since Memes and I went vegan, so no chicken anymore.
Alan Wheeler says, what's the most overrated condiment and what's the most underrated condiment?
Overrated content.
Overrated.
Overrated.
I don't know,
What kind
like really hot sauce.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
overrated.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you're right.
That's
You're
a
right.
good point. Where you're going for the heat instead of just like the flavor. Where it's
Yeah.
like, let's just make it hot. Just to make it
Yeah.
hotter. Not because it's
Yeah.
the
Fuck that.
flavor. Yeah.
The most underrated condiment is ketchup. I mean, everybody's bagging on ketchup all the time.
Ketchup's
so
great.
basic. Ketchup's fucking awesome. Shut your dirty mouth.
Ketchup is on. I like Exo Briar telling people to shut their dirty mouth. That's great.
Maybe like
Oh.
barbecue
Zolobin?
sauce or something. I don't know. I think you guys do barbecue sauce better than Australians do.
Mm.
We have a lot of
But you're the
barbecue
land of the
sauces.
Barbie.
Yeah,
How's that
but, yeah, but we just use
Ironic.
ketchup for everything. Tomato
Low effort.
sauce.
Low effort Barbie.
We don't call it ketchup. We call it tomato sauce.
Yeah.
I feel like tomato sauce is so much different than ketchup, because like ketchup
Yeah.
is like got
Well,
ketchup has like vinegar and sugar and some seasoning to it, whereas tomato sauce is like just tomatoes. Well, I guess
It's-
there's
it
maybe
is-
tomato sauce,
we
too.
really mean ketchup, but
Well,
it's
in
just
England, you
tomatoes.
get tomato ketchup. So, you know, you just mix both.
True.
Solomon says, is shawarma a kebab or a burrito? Asking for a friend.
Well, it's a shawarma, so it should
a
be
shawarma.
a kebab. But it's a shawarma kebab.
I'm going to go with
Yeah.
shawarma.
I'm gonna go.
I don't know
with
what that is.
You don't know what it is, Mylon? Do you know
No.
also not know what a burrito is?
Yeah, we've had this conversation.
Awesomeness says, so I was going about my normal day and I randomly thought, did Briar ever open that loot crate? Now I need to know, when is part 2 of the unboxing video dropping?
Yeah,
Did you ever
Briar.
open the loot crate?
When? When's it dropping?
Dreadnought says, you are now extremely you are now the extremely petty witch. You cast a spell that does something minor, but very inconvenient and annoying on someone who has wronged you. What spell do you cast?
Inconvenient, annoying spell.
Yeah, you're a petty witch. You're petty.
Yeah.
Petty.
Oh,
I
I
got
got it,
has
I
a
got it.
silent but deadly fart every 15 minutes.
deadly? Like,
Silent
if it's
but
a
deadly.
witch,
You know the type.
like, actually deadly.
Quiet.
No, just like
No,
real
quiet,
stink.
but real stinky.
Real stink.
Okay, because
I
you got
would
it.
my
Yeah.
my annoying thing would be when your Word documents crash frequently and the save button doesn't work correctly and only saves like 5 minutes prior.
Wow, that's pretty evil.
So you always miss out on 5 minutes work. So it's not enough to be like, I've just lost all my work, but it's enough to have to like rewrite a paragraph.
Yeah,
That is
that's pretty bad.
extremely inconvenient.
That's
That is
pretty inconvenient.
extremely-
I got one. I think it's pretty mean though.
Mm.
Like every time you go to the store, you always forget your phone and wallet.
Oh, that's current life.
That's like an awful curse.
Or your mask. How often have you had to drive home to get a mask?
We always keep a box in the car, so you never
Yeah,
never
the
run out.
box gets empty when we have kids fast.
I don't know. Maybe it just makes someone drop stuff a bunch, because I've gone through days where I am dropping everything and it is so annoying. You're just constantly dropping things, constantly have to bend down and pick it up, and then as you pick it up, you drop it again. I've gone
My
through
wife
those days.
suffers from this ailment so bad that when she picks up something that I actually care about, I start to sweat. Let me get your phone for you. No, that's okay. I'll get it.
Yeah, I drop stuff a lot.
Hugo79 says, before Australia selected dollar as the official name of its currency in 1963, among 1,000 names were suggested by the public, including the Oz, the Roo, the Boomer, the Quid, and the Dinkum.
Dinkum.
What would you have chosen given the opportunity?
What is the origin story of the Dinkum?
Well, you can't do the quid because that's the British pound, so you can't do that.
Yeah, take it.
Sorry to take it.
It's spelled KW though. KWID apparently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is spelled differently.
Yeah.
Dinkum is pretty good.
A
Boomer would
dinkum?
be pretty great in this day and age.
Fitty Dinkum.
Yeah. it would be
Fitty
good.
Boomer or Fitty Dinkum.
50 dinkums.
I do like dinkums. That's just a fun word. Dinkums
Yeah,
is
fair
a fun
dinkum.
word. I like the
I gotta
odds.
choose cunt.
Boy, about Fitty Cunt.
I mean, that's how it is already, to be honest.
The unofficial official name.
People just yelling at you.
All be really fun, you know.
Yeah.
I got 2 boomers. Where?
two
I do have
boomers and a
dinkum.
quid.
Two boomers.
2 boomers and a fair dinkum in it for you.
Yeah, you need to pick 2, right? One for the dollars, one for the cents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Like
That's
100
true.
dinkums makes a boomer or something.
Yes.
Solved.
Yeah. I'm
That'd be
happy with that.
three boomers and 45 dinkums.
That's it. Once again, we've solved all the questions of the Destiny universe.
Oh, thank God.
Briar is currently at war with his internet.
There was a funny question that was pretty not long ago, but I just saw it and it made me giggle. And it's specifically for Mylon, so I also want to ask it. Do you find Pizza Hut ketchup bottles sexy in Australia? There was an Australian story about this a couple days ago.
Pizza
Hut ketchup bottles.
ketchup bottles. I don't know what is specific about
Who's
pizza.
putting
Pizza Hut
ketchup?
basically closed down.
Really?
10 hours ago, sexualized ketchup bottle causes uproar.
Okay, well now I need to Google it.
Phallic
How did you not
ketchup bottle?
immediately Google that?
Pizza Hut ketchup.
It literally looks like a normal ketchup. It's a tiny bit curvy. I guess you could imagine. Well, it wouldn't even be a lady's body. It would be.
Oh,
small
come
hips.
on. Dude, a Coke bottle is more sex. What are they talking about? Is this
Yeah.
what Australia has become? A land full of criminals are now upset by a slightly curvaceous ketchup bottle.
This does not represent our country.
Do you guys
I
put ketchup on your pizza?
Wait until Joe Rogan hears about this.
have no idea why there is Pizza Hut ketchup anyway.
Because
Yeah.
there's fries.
At Pizza Hut? There's
Maybe it's
fries?
maybe it's not the shape. Maybe it's the logo on the front that says shake, squeeze, and squirt.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh. Oh, okay. Maybe I didn't read the label.
No, I didn't either.
Shake, squeeze, and squirt.
I mean, they're not wrong. Those are the instructions.
No.
Yeah. You know how you're like supposed to jerk the ketchup bottle to get it to, do its thing?
It said that this person was worried about children eating there. I'm like, do you really think a 10-year-old is gonna, or a 5-year-old is gonna go, oh, shake, squeeze, and squirt, a little too sexual for me. Guess I'll go visit the hub instead of the hut. What?
Little Caesars it is.
A man says it sounds like an app for swingers.
You know what I'm learning? I think the guy who has an issue with this is quite a depraved individual. Because I'd go.
It's always the Puritans that are like the most fucked up.
They're
Right?
normally pedophiles, yeah.
It's like
Sure.
It's the Republicans who are like on the podium railing against homosexuality that are touching each other's feet under the
They
stall
touch
door.
the budgies.
Trucker
They
room.
do touch the budgies. They cross the budgie streams.
Oh, man.
Thank you for bringing Pizza Hut to my attention. I hadn't really thought about Pizza Hut in quite a while, so well done.
And on
They
that
basically all
note,
closed down. We've only got like 3 here.
Dude, I was playing Resident Evil when I was 9. I don't know what was going on. I was just terrified.
there you go.
All right, let's
Pizza
wrap
Hub.
this thing up.
Yeah. It's we solved all the
Pizza Hub.
questions. Pizza Hub.
Pizza Hut.
There it is. You got your answers. Shout out to our Patreon members and our Twitch subs for keeping the shows going. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. And shout out to everyone hanging out and watching and listening and chilling. Yeah. Mylon, what are you working on this week?
After this podcast, I'll be writing my probably final 2 paragraphs, hopefully, that I'll ever have to write for my PhD. I've got
Cool. When you're
one more
done,
piece
we
of
need to have a
feedback.
party. We need to have a big old party.
Put your budgie smugglers on. Your thongs. We'll have a Pizza Hut ketchup party. Oh,
You're
Jesus.
gonna shake, jerk, and smack it.
We'll squirt, squeeze it. Oh, okay. So hopefully I'll be a free man next time you see me. I could potentially have it's got to then go to be checked and all this kind of stuff. So I hope it doesn't come back again. But that's my day. And tomorrow I think we're gonna play some Lost Ark with Watts.
I think
Awesome.
that's what we're gonna do.
On Twitch.
I don't know
Nice.
what we're gonna do in Lost Ark. Kill stuff.
Be a pirate.
High-end content. Adrenaline.
Adrenaline.
Yeah.
Squirting.
Full throttle. Full throttle.
Full throttle.
Yeah.
All right. I think we got to end it right here. I thought maybe we'd get on the rails just a little bit, but no, there's no rails. We lost the track completely.
Sorry.
So.
I'm sorry. I'm trying.
I'm gonna be turning into a big demon fist and fisting the opposition.
There you go.
I'll take a large meat lovers with a double order of breadsticks and a zone with extra ketchup.
Make it the bottle.
That'll be 10 dinkums, or no, 10 boomers and 59 dinkums. All right, that's the show. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.